Yeah.
We're back. Welcome back. We're playing The Great Long Dark, and We're not gonna finish all of these cards. I don't think we've got time for that. But we will
Mm.
do one more of the parents and children's journey, and then we'll like cut to the finish.
End questions.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright.
Which one should we do first, parents or children?
Children go first.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So, um, who does this scene setting?
I think it'd be me because the border one didn't really count.
Okay.
My theory.
Yeah.
No set rule.
Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is the place where we fled into the Singing Tower, and it told us a secret truth.
Yes.
I think this has to be the place that this is the place that Soul was afraid of. Close to the place that Soul was afraid of. So we've been walking in single file in like a very cramped, narrow tunnel for quite a long time, and eventually it sort of widens out into a cavern, and this cavern is startling to look at. It's almost glimmering, and like with crystal, the walls are lined with this sort of black and silver crystal that's shimmering. Even though there's no light, it looks like it's reflecting light, but there isn't any there. And in the center of the cavern, sort of built out of this crystal, is this strange sort of like cylindrical object. And as we walk into this cavern, as Koro walks into this cavern, like our ears are just filling with these soft whispers, which quickly turn into almost like melodic music. And it's very like, it's very calming, it's very suppressive, it's very sort of like lulling, and it's drawing us towards this tower, sort of one step at a time. And I think that's where this scene starts, and growing louder and louder.
All right. Now I'm drawing from the questions below that black section now, aren't I? After
Yes, that's right.
On the
Yeah.
right-hand side, there's
So the after border ones.
Yeah. And I just did one about. Oh, fuck. What was it? It was me about myself, so I'm doing something about someone else today. I think I want to talk about how Manali found a fragment of hope amongst the ruin. Because yeah, I think Prudence Prudence tells a tale of seeing Manali like having not taken it seriously up until now. Like I think she just remembers seeing Manali like stop in their tracks and like just is Manali she they
Yeah.
She.
she remembers seeing Manali like stop in her tracks, and then I think it was Manali that just like goes forward and like opens this door and like goes inside, and then like we hear this joyous song from Manali, like of like revelation, that is just like that is like completely out of character and like in harmony with with these sounds we're hearing. And I think that's what made Prudence to go like, this is okay. And like we just see Prudence like deciding to follow.
Wow. Okay. Am I answering about someone else or about me? I've kind of lost track.
I think you're doing about
So you were
someone else this
you
time.
last time, so be someone else. Yeah.
Okay. How did... Ooh. Oh God, I don't know. And I feel like
Let me cross out the one that I used.
Yeah, where's that one used?
Which was find a fragment of hope, not the room.
Fragment of hope. Okay.
We don't know what that fragment was. Just-
So I'm gonna answer. This feels really silly. This is gonna answer. How did Prudence use the ways of the grasslands to get an unexpected edge? And Minali's gone in on like, oh, I'm just gonna instinctively go and sing the song, even though it's not in my psyche. And then she sees Prudence come in with a gun cocked, because even though it's an old gun from this part of the border, her skills are definitely on the grassland sense. And Minali gets a sense that if anything goes down, Prudence is going to be able to kick in with whatever kind of self-preservation instinct she picked up from the grasslands. Just like, I don't care about your always bullshit at this point. I have a gun. I will shoot it at you.
That's amazing. I love it.
It's like going to the Harry Potter world with a gun and shooting Voldemort. It's like
Yeah. Yeah, expect your pattern is this.
Okay.
I think it's then your
It's
turn.
me then, I think. Yeah. Okay. So that was right. The ways of the grasslands. I think. Okay. So I need to answer one about myself, I think. Because I did one about someone else last time. I think I'm going to choose how did Azar go against parental advice or wishes to find a new path or solution? I think the happening in the tea house and the fact that Azar used one of these bells, they kind of now they feel like they've kind of already like broken a bit of a warning in doing that, but nothing really bad happened. Like it seemed like that was the thing that needed to happen. So I think Azar has kind of like become a little bit complacent about the bells, and that effect is being intensified by like the kind of the lulling, calming influence of this place. And so they think to themselves as they're sort of like sitting, I don't think they go into the tower, they sit down outside the tower and sort of just to wait for the others to come out. And they can hear, you know, this singing, the Manali's singing coming from inside. they can hear the sort of the murmuring of the crystal, and they think to themselves that that the bells would make a beautiful accompaniment in here. And it feels like the right thing to do. There is something in them where they feel they want to add to this or contribute to this, or that something's missing. And so they take out the bells, and as they're sitting on the floor, they just begin to sort of like ring them just kind of quietly to themselves. But as they are ringing the bells, the sound seems to kind of like catch in the crystal and sort of multiply. And it's really beautiful. And so Azar kind of ends up sort of for a little while getting kind of lost in the echoes of this song. But I think, eventually they sort of like they lose track of time doing that, and there is a strange kind of like jarring thing where they feel like they've only been there a few seconds, and suddenly, maybe everyone's come back.
Can I make a suggestion for like the end of this scene?
Mm-hmm.
Is
there more? Oh no, that's the last one, isn't it? Yeah.
I like the idea that we all get kind of lost in song, and then at some point Prudence actually accidentally fires the gun.
Yes! Oh, I love that. I love that.
Either
yeah.
that or intentionally, right? Like one or the other.
Yeah. At some point she fires the gun and it just kind of like breaks the thing that had been building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
It's like, oh, shut up already.
I think it's like she's doing a little harmony or melody or something, and she wants someone else to like join in, and then not, and she's like, she wants their attention, so she just fires the gun.
Yeah. And it kind of reminds us that we're like on a journey.
Yeah.
And that this place isn't safe, and we just sort of like have that moment of like, oh, all right.
We were doing something. Yeah. Yep. Who gets tainted? It's a tough one.
It's either Azar or Manali.
I feel like Minali was like the most directly affected.
Yeah.
Manali went into the tower. Yeah. True.
I honestly am still like not 100% clear what happened to Minali in that tower. It's like she went in and then
she learned.
something
Well,
happened.
the thing that's on the card is like something about a secret truth. So, yeah, the tower told us a secret truth.
Yeah,
it sounds like it
Prudence
told
doesn't know what it
Minali a
is,
secret
right?
truth.
Yeah.
It told Manali.
I think
a secret
only
truth,
Manali
but,
learned that.
Prudence doesn't know, so I can't tell it.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. And Minali's forgotten. Or like she can't express it. It's like
maybe it's too abstract.
Or it's too secret. Like now you
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And now she's tainted with this secret she can never really properly express to anybody.
I love it. Ugh. Yeah. Cool.
All right. This is the place This is the place we saw the many stars float in the cavern, and we captured one to light the way. Yeah, I think at this point we've run, like, the adults have run out of kerosene, right? Like, their lanterns do nothing now. Their food is rapidly dwindling, and they pass. They're in this this giant cavern that has this weird effect where it looks like there is water in the ceiling. It's like there's a pool of water above them, and we hear these echoing sounds, what am I thinking of? Maybe like whale song almost, or orcas, or something like that. And we see these lights glinting above, and I think someone among our number, they are these beautiful blue and white lights move around smoothly throughout the the lake above us. And I think at some point someone draws a revolver and shoots one. And from the water above us, this creature falls, and members of the group begin to butcher it. And like its light fades but never like goes out.
Awesome.
Tiara, you're asking the first question.
About myself this time, right?
Yeah, about yourself this time.
Yeah.
About your adult.
But my adult self. How did I realize I would never return? I think after all of that, with the shooting down a creature and butchering it, and then there was a meal that was kind of made somehow with the star creature that was taken, and that feels whenever everyone eats it, there comes an inner light. So not so much as a torch someone's holding and you can light the way, but it's more like everyone now has this own light that they themselves can sense. But because everyone can sense it, they all point into the same direction. And having had that meal and having now like this inner light because of eating this star creature, Pius feels like he's forever changed now, and he's changed in a way that already he's thinking he can't return, but now he feels like the light's pointing him away from the old country and towards the grasslands. And he just would rather follow that light.
There's totally a thing too where like because you said that Faiz's like ability is that thing of not being able to of not being noticed.
Yep.
And I like how like having this inner like glowing light would affect that, right? Like there's no way that he would go unnoticed like this.
You've got the next question, Em?
Yep. Okay. Whew, these ones are all really dark, aren't they? Oh my god. There's no good answers. There's no good questions. Oh, wow. Amazing.
What is it implying about the border?
Yeah.
That after the border is terrible.
Yeah. Or I think it seems like it tells more about like why they never went back through here, right? Okay, what is my fear? My fear is about singing crystals. We've theoretically been through there. Okay, I'm gonna go with because that's right. I need to answer one about someone else. That's cool. So we're in this cavern and did you say it's like water at the top?
Yeah, the top of the cavern is filled with it has like a lake that these beautiful creatures like glide around in. I think they're like chasing, like they're doing that thing where like swallows go after insects, right? Like they're like going after swarms of some smaller thing.
All right, with your permission, Ash, I want to draw this gay story that we all want so much out. So,
well done.
I'm going to go with, how did Holden sacrifice something important for the chance to continue? And again, I think this is something that, I think Sol does a lot of just observing. just watching closely other people and their interactions and not necessarily having opinions about them.
I feel like that makes sense because they spent so much time just in that like kind of like distant, like numb state, right? And they're just kind of like looking around.
Yeah. So I think there is there's a time when we're in this cavern when Sol observes Holden and FaZe together eating some of this food, this fish thing, this creature, and maybe they haven't interacted very much sort of before this, but there's just sort of this moment where they are kind of sharing this food, and it's so mundane, almost like strangely so in the sort of the context of this place, and I think there is this moment where Sol sees Holden kind of like smile or laugh at something, and it's like she can almost tangibly see him kind of like loosening his grip on his anger, like he's shifted from this this grief into an anger at the loss of grief, into like a desire to hold on to the anger about the loss of grief, but not really. Like it's just sort of become one too many layers, and she can like see him kind of just like just dropping this anger a little bit in this interaction with FaZe. Like romance and whatever.
I love that because like at the same time because of this particular meal, it's the first time that Holden sees FaZe, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's so lovely. He did the glowy thing, and now he can be seen.
No. Why did Annie May just have to leave? We need fan art right now.
I know, we need fan art.
Oh dear.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh,
amazing.
I'm very excited by this. Bimo's in his little box going like pat wow.
Awesome.
That's fair. He is like a gay mascot. So.
He is. All right.
I think it's
okay.
neat.
Yeah, your turn for a question, Haley.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do the opposite and break up some gay love.
No.
Not yours. Sol, sorry, Sol. How was Sol parted from loved ones? So I think until this point, somewhere deep down, Sol actually did believe that Toby might still be able to, would come after them one day, and follow the path they'd followed and come out the other side of the Great Long Dark and end up, if Sol did make it through, end up in the place that Sol made it to, and if Sol didn't make it through, end up in the place that Sol ended, I suppose. But the exit to this cavern, just as everyone had sort of like the meal was restorative and the light sort of gave people new hope, the exit to this cavern was almost like an impossible maze of different little caverns, like branching off in like thousands of different directions. And as we were standing there realizing that we had to pick one path to take, and hoping that path would lead us to the other side, I think Sol, Josh, you could see Sol looking behind her and like wasn't really sure why, and then sort of looking forward and looking a bit like she wasn't sure what to do. And I think the reason for that is because it was quite clear as Yojoshi looked out that there was no way anyone who was following them could ever find the same path they'd taken and walk the same road that they had walked. They were saying the only way to find their loved ones again would be to go back. They were saying goodbye to the chance of ever being followed, because even if they found a different exit, they might never find each other on the other side.
That's so sad.
Sad. Okay. Yes, it's good. I like it.
I guess we now know who got really tainted in that last go around.
Everyone else had a great time.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna give
Yep.
you one.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the end of our
Yeah.
cards
Cards.
for today.
So I will guide you guys through the ending. So the Act 5 is the emergence. And the parents and the children emerge from the great long dark and reach their destination. So we start with the children. Now, smoke has begun to trickle into the caverns rather. Smoke has begun to trickle into the caverns through which we are trudging. Smoke and mingling with it the faint traces of sunlight. Our boots are marching up the final ascent, pounding on the rocks that lead towards the surface. And at last we emerge through the thick smog and into the sunlight. We will find our people. We will save them. And we will take them back with us, one step at a time, back and back to the grasslands. As our eyes, stinging with smoke, adjust to the world around them, we answer the same question, one by one. What do you see?
I think we'll start with
So when it's sort of like when they walk out, what does your character
I think we'll start with
notice
because
as
I did the
the-
last card.
right?
So should I start then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you see?
Okay. This is the children. What does Minali see? Minali sees the pictures that were in her book in real life. All the different buildings, the various vegetation the books talks about, even some of the people in some of the costumes. But she can also see that there's been very subtle but still present changes in time from when the book was made to now. Like some of the buildings are more ruined. Some of the clothing is somewhat different. The vegetation is not as lush as it used to be, but then she also doesn't know how much of what the book has given her is glorified information. Like maybe it was always like this and the book is just being more optimistic than it actually is.
Emily?
Yeah. I don't know what this means, but this is the vision that I have, so I'm just going to go with it. I think when Azar comes out of the caverns and sees the kind of like, I don't know, yeah, I'm picturing a sort of this, you said, can you say again, like, it's a kind of a city looking thing, or?
It's sort of
Yeah.
like an old city.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, yeah.
And it's filled
I
with
think-
smoke.
Yeah, I think distantly, like sort of beyond the buildings, there is a huge statue of some kind, like off to in one direction, that Azar sort of like sees through the smoke, and kind of they catch a glimpse of it, and are just sort of like transfixed, because there's something about it that glints in the same way that their arm glints, and I think they're sort of stuck there, kind of staring at it and waiting for these waves of the smoke to go past, and at some point, the smoke parts enough and the sun glints, and they can see that this statue is this huge statue of a human-shaped person, but entirely like metal in the same way that Azar's arm is metal. It has all of these interlocking parts, and it's this kind of like form of like a huge towering like emperor or warrior. And I think Azar is like fascinated and in like a kind of religious awe, but also doesn't know who this figure is or what it means.
Ooh.
Cool. I think what Koro sees is as he's almost overwhelmed by the sight of all that smoke and all these buildings, more buildings than he's ever sort of seen in one place, and the big statue looming on the horizon, and he stumbles further in from the Great Long Dark into the city, and suddenly he finds himself surrounded by like, you know, hundreds of other people that look like him, and he's not used to this. They look like him, they sound like him, they move like him, and they're just sort of like wandering to and fro, like through the smoke, shouting, yelling things, giving things to each other, and they don't even glance at him. He just sort of quietly fits in with what they're doing. They don't pay him mind.
I think for Prudence just like there's probably several people, right? Like a handful of people scattered amongst the crowd or whatever. And these are the only ones that Prudence sees, because she sees them coughing, and she sees the like pallor of their skin, and she sees her own symptoms in them, and she wonders, if she came here, why do these people suffer as she does? And I think it becomes obvious that there isn't a cure, or at least if there is, it's not easy enough that all of these people have it, and it's not given freely, and so the only option is to take the people back to the green place with them.
Cool. So now the parents emerge. So the parents, we are exhausted. We are starving, thirsty, desperate, and grieving. We are nearly dead. But none of that matters when we see it. It's light. As yellow pours like honey into the caverns, our slow steps turn to a run. We race through the final tunnel, the ascent towards the smell of fresh air long forgotten, and then with a gasp we see it, our future. Answer the same question one by one. What do we see?
We could do it like we did last time with Ash starting first and then going.
Right, in which case, yeah. I mean, I know what Holden sees. Holden just sees Fez in the sunlight, right? Fez running ahead of him, right? Like silhouetted in the golden sunlight, you know, a new dawn. That's all he's paying attention to. It's like the smile on his face, and like his hair in the glow.
Oh my god, this is so cute.
That's it.
I think you draw, she sees like looks up ahead and can see like a vineyard. It's just like up ahead there's, amongst the grass, there's suddenly a place where the grass levels into soil, and from that soil like sprouting vines, and on the vines there's like this, you know, round fruit that looks like the most amazing thing you've ever tasted, like this deep purple color, and she doesn't know what it is, but she's just drawn towards it. Like when you've tasted this, you've tasted, you know, real life. Like this is the thing that's going to make you alive. The tastes and the sounds and the sensations.
Yes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Are you muted?
Yes. Not anymore. Okay, so let's have some more sad gay. So I think as Sol like feels the sunlight, she knows that it's time for her to do a specific thing, and she feels relieved because she has managed to hold off on this, even in the maze at the end. And she wanted to do this thing, but she knew she had promised that she wouldn't. If she made it this far, she promised that she would open the letter that Toby had given her and said, like, open this only when you get there. And so she stands in the sunlight, and, you know, as everyone's kind of like running joyfully ahead and whatever, she sort of stands by the edge of the cavern, and she opens this letter from Toby, and she reads the letter. And in the letter, Toby tells her of how she gave her the gift of that dream, and she's sorry that it was a lie, but it was the only way to get her out of the city. There was no other way to convince her to go, and that she's sorry for lying to her like that.
Oh. Why did she do this? Why?
Oh.
There you go, some happy gay and some sad gay.
I'm glad we've got one more person left.
Yeah, don't end on that.
No. So the first thing Fi sees when the smoke of that clears is the people. And it is so many people. And it is so many different people. And it's people that in the old country would have been cut down for being unhuman or being wrong or being different in ways that Tyre didn't like. And they're just there doing whatever it is they feel like doing. And for the first time, Faiz doesn't feel like he would necessarily stick out in a bad way. And he's never been able to see other people that are different to him, but kind of similar in that they're all different to each other. Like, it's the most diverse place he's been. And he's like, oh my God, you can just be who you are here. And sees around and sees Holden smiling at him. And it's like, it's finally like he can just be. And there's people who would just let him be and like him for him. And he's not a danger. He's not dangerous. He is not the long, great, dark.
Yes! Oh, my heart.
Although I'm sure Holden can provide his own great, long, dark.
Amazing. On that note.
That's the game.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
All right. Are we done, Emily?
Yeah, so that is the end of The Great Long Dark. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
So much. So much.
If you're watching as well and there's anything you wanted to say about the game or anything like that, do hit us up on Twitter or grab the game from our website, because this is the first time we played it, because we made it for Game Chef. So I want to know what you all think. Yes.
What's your
awesome.
Twitter? What's the website where people can find the the
Yeah.
game?
So our Twitter is @storybrewers. And the website is storybrewersroleplaying.com.
Cool. Awesome.
You know.
Go and check it out.
Yeah,
Emily,
absolutely.
who are
Yeah.
you? Where can people find you?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Emily. You can find me on Twitter @BlackwallSays. I'm also on Tumblr @Blackwall Holiday, and I'm on YouTube @Blackwall Holiday. I make art and films, and sometimes I do art for games. And this was really fantastic, and I'm really glad that I saw your tweet about it, Haley, because otherwise we might not have known, and it was really great. I love this
Thank
game
you
very
guys so much for playing. It was so good to hear you guys
Such a
bring
good
this
time.
game to life.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So yes, thank you. I had a great time.
Tiara, who are you? Where can people find you?
Who am I? It's a long and complicated question. No. Whole other game. You can find me on the internet most places as Creatrix Tiara, so CreatrixTiara, except Tumblr, where I am on a different account. I'm not your exotic, so take exotic and add an R in there. But if you Google me, you should be able to find me. I'm kind of fledgling games writing person, as in I have ideas and then I write them and then I go, oh my god, I bit off more than I can chew. What is this even? But yeah, find me on the internet. Come say hi. I write for Autostraddle nowadays, so you'll read a fair bit of me there regularly, and I write for other places. But yeah, hi.
Cool. And I've been Ashton, your GM. You can find me at Acegiak, ACEGIAK, on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Tumblr, all the things. And this has been I'm Not Trying to Kill You. We've been playing The Great Long Dark by the Story Brewers, and there will be a link to that game in the description. Thanks so much for joining us today. Bye!
Woo!